I met about 3 months ago.
李总跟我大概3个月前的时候是认识的，
when I joined Jeunesse.
刚加入杰斯。
And all I knew was there was a Robin in Taiwan.
那我只知道原来台湾有个李伟行，
And people said, yeah, he does a good job.
然后人家说他表现得不错。
But after seeing him in action
那之后看到李总在台湾的表现，
for the last 2 to 3 months,
在过去的2到3个月当中啊，
he not only does a good job, but he does an exceptional job.
他不止表现得不错，他表现得好极了，大家说是不是？
So I'm very proud of him. And you know, leadership is about getting people to follow you.
你知道领导力就在于人们是不是愿意跟随你。
And when I look at our business here in Taiwan and in Greater China, it's because we've got a strong leader.
那当我们在看台湾还有整个中国区的发展的时候，我们就看到是有像李总这样的领导人。
So thank you, Robin, for your great leadership.
所以谢谢你伟行，谢谢你的领导能力。
Anyone recognize these individuals?
那有没有人认识这2个人呢？
No?
没有人认识吗？
These are our founders. And if you recall, my first title of the slide was The Dream, The Drive, The Difference.
这是我们的创办人啊。
These were our dreamers.
那这就是我们的梦想家。
4 years ago, they took this dream that they had and this vision that they had and said, let's spread this word around the world.
他们将4年前呢，将这个梦想、将这个愿景说，他把它传递到全世界去。
And they never imagined in their wildest dreams our business would be so big.
那从来没有想象过他事业能够变得那么的巨大。
You know why it was so big?
你知道为什么他那么巨大吗？
Because all of you made the difference.
因为是你们带来的改变啊。
Let me give you an example.
我让大家看一下例子好了。
First year we started business.
第1年是我们的生意啊，
Our sales were $30 million.
那我们的生意那时候是3000万美金。
For a one-year-old company, that's very good.
对一家公司新开始来讲，这不错了。
But wait, it gets better.
那之后变得更好了。
In year 2, it was $65 million.
第2年的时候来到6500万美
That's
金，
over double the business.
那几乎已经成长了1倍啊。
But it even gets better.
That's
We
so
took
big.
it to year 3.
第3年，
Slide. Year 3, $126 million.
第3年12600万，
So again, almost double.
一样又成长。
Now, how many years have we been in business?
那我们现在进来这生意几年了？
How many?
那时候第几年？
4 years.
现在第4年了。
3 years in Taiwan, 4 years as a company. We're in our 5th year now.
那我们现在在总公司现在开始第5年，在台湾第4年了。
So year 4, $257 million.
第4年的时候是25700万美金。
I don't know about you, but that's spectacular results.
但我不知道你们怎么想，但这是一个非常惊人的结果，是不是？
Now guess what? As we look at what's happening this year, 2014, we are on track to hit $500 million.
那今年在2014年，我们即将要达到的就是5亿美金的目标。
Now you tell me which company out there can brag and boast about $500 million in 5 years.
那你看看，告诉我有哪一家公司能够在5年内做到5亿美金的？
There's no one out there, and that's because we have truly the best people in the industry.
那是没有人做得到的，那是因为我们做到，是因为我们有最优秀的人在这边，是不是？
Now let's talk about Wendy.
那我们谈一下温迪好了。
You know, we've got a lot of accolades and awards over the years.
然后我们得到很多的奖赏啊。
Just recently, the top 100 rankings came out of the direct selling news. You may remember that in 2012,
你可能最近才发现这个最新的直销排行啊，在2012
we were
年
number
的时候，
82.
我们是82名。
In 2013,
2013年的时候呢，
we were number 78.
那时候我们排名第78名。
And then in 2014,
然后
we weren't just number 78.
在2014年的时候，我
We
们不
were
是
in the
78，
top 50 of 100 global direct selling companies in the world.
我们在全世界前100家公司，我们是前50名哦。
And we were number 46.
然后我们排名第46名，
So there's a lot to be proud of again.
所以大家有很多可以深感自豪的事了。
This next year, we're planning to go for, with your hard work, for the top 25 in the world. Can we do it?
那在今年，接下来我们的目标是成为前面25家公司，我们做得到吗？
Now, I'll met many of you as I've been traveling over the last several months.
那在过去几个月我四处旅行的时候，认识很多人啊。
But I'm probably one of the newest members of the Jeunesse family.
但我可能是杰斯家族里面最新的成员。
This is my 3rd month with the company.
这是我在这家公司的第3个月。
And I love it.
我好喜欢。
And you know why I love it?
你知道为什么我喜欢吗？
Because as I was going around and I was traveling, I met about 15,000 leaders in the last 2 months.
因为我在四处旅行，在过去的2个月当中，我认识超过15000个领袖。
I've been to 26 different countries with Jeunesse so far in 3 months.
那跟着杰斯，我到了超过26个国家。
But one thing that was common was what I found was our competitive edge was the same in every country.
但我发现我们的竞争优势，不管在哪一个国家都是一样的。
First, passion.
第一个，热情。
Passion for this business.
对于这个生意充满着热情。
Next,
下一点
product. And I'm going to talk about each one of these in a second.
产品。那等一下我会把这些细节再讲。
Third, plan.
第3个，我们的计划。
4, platform.
第4，平台。
And last but not least, but most important, people.
最后最重要的一点就是文化。
Now let's talk about passion first, because this is very important to me.
对我们来讲，我们先讨论一下热情，好吗
You know, in this business, head is important, but at the end of the day, heart matters most.
这个生意啊，理智很重要。
We can't move people with the head.
但
We
每一
move
天结
people
束
with
是
the
靠
heart.
心的，我们是靠心在感动人的。
And that's what makes you so special.
这就是为什么你那么特别。
You know, when you look at passion, passion allows us to unlock our potential.
你知道，当我们看到热情，热情可以让我们释放潜能。
I am convinced Jeunesse is the right platform to be in today.
我很深信杰斯是一个对的平台。
For a company that's only 4 years young, there's never been a better time to be a part of this company.
对一家才4岁的公司来讲，这是最好的时刻。
And last but not least, you know, one thing I've always learned in life is when you give people a meaningful purpose behind something, they will follow you anywhere. Isn't that true?
我所学到的一件事情就是，如果你给人们一个使命的话，人们会愿意不断去做。大家说是不是？
Let me give you a couple of examples. People sitting here in this room. And in fact, if I had all day, I would pick all of you, and I'm sure each of you have your special stories.
我相信坐在这边的每一个人，如果要一个一个问的话，每一个人都有自己独特的故事。
First of all, a gentleman by the name of Su Shang-Seng, who's a sapphire.
首先第一个，我们的绿宝石成员之一啊，苏正胜先生。
Where is he? Could I have him please stand?
他在哪里呢？你们请他站起来一下。
In fact, why don't you come up on stage and join
请
me?
你上台来一下，好不好？
What's special about him?
你知道他特别之处在哪吗？
He's 74 years old.
他现在74岁了。
He's had a 3rd grade education.
他只有一个3年级的教育水平啊。
But he's mastered computers, so he can work the Jeunesse system.
他已经为了杰斯系统，他精通了整个电脑系统的运作。
And you know why he loves Jeunesse?
你知道他为什么那么热爱杰斯吗？
Because when he used the product, it made a difference on him.
因为当他用了杰斯的产品，在他身上带来改变。
And so he loves the product, he loves this company, and he's been a part of the Jeunesse family.
他热爱这些产品，热爱这家公司，然后一直成为杰斯家族的一部分。
And he loves this business and wants to continue to rise in this business.
然后他热爱这生意，而且想要持续在这生意当中勇往直前。
So we thank you for being a part of the Jeunesse family. I want you to stay up here.
所以我们谢谢你成为这个家族的一部分。那请你先留在台上一下。
Very inspiring, right? At 74, if he can do this.
非常令人启发，对不对？74岁。
Another individual I want to point out
另外一位
is
人
Kelly Lynn, who's an emerald. Where is Kelly? Kelly, come on
林
up.
丽萍，蓝老师，他人在哪？
Now, what's special about Kelly?
那丽萍特别在哪？
Kelly worked in a government office for many, many years.
那丽萍她在政府工作很长一段时间。
And, you know, in the government office, she wasn't getting paid that well. She was getting, I believe, paid about 100,000 Taiwan dollars.
公务员的薪资并不是很高啊。
Tough time making ends meet.
那所以同时要赚到足够的钱是不够的。
But then Janess came her way.
然后杰斯来到她的生命里。
Thanks to someone by the name of Stacy, right?
谢谢 Stacy 是吧
3 years ago, introduced her to the Janess family.
？3年前介绍了杰斯个机会给她。
And she's worked her business like there's nobody else's business.
然后她在这个生意非常的努力，就像是她自己的生意一样。
She was also still working her government job.
那她同时还是继续做公务员的工作。
She has a passion for helping others.
她有一个热情，想要协助别人。
She made Emerald in January of 2014.
在2014年的1月的时候，她成为了蓝宝石。
And you know what she did?
你知道她做了什么吗？
She gave her job up and decided to pursue Janess on a full-time basis.
然后就决定离开她的工作，然后全职来经营杰斯。
So here we go. We've got 2 passionate leaders. Let's give them a big round of applause as they return backstage.
所以我们再次给我们2个充满热情的领导人掌声鼓励一下，好不好？
So that was passion. Let's talk about product.
所以热情，那我们现在讲一下产品好了。
You know what hit me strong when I joined Janess?
你知道当我在加入杰斯的时候啊，
We don't have many products,
我们那时候没有什么产品，
but that's good.
但是很好。
I come from companies where we have 5,000 to 6,000 products,
我曾经替一些公司工作，我们有5、6千种产品，
and they're still struggling.
那他们却依然还是一直在挣扎。
You know, in this business, less is more.
在这个生意越少反而越好，
You need products that work.
你需要是有在运作的心啊。
All of you know our product line. You know, we've got Luminess,
我们的产品大家都知道是有效的，
Reserve, Infinity, AMPM, and Propectin.
不管是博佩乐还是我们所有其他的产品，
And they all work
他
in
们
different
都
ways.
有效。
I have never heard of a complaint in the field that the product doesn't work.
我从来没听过经销商抱怨说产品没效的。
In fact, I'll share with you my own personal story.
我跟你们分享我自己的故事好不好？
You know, one of the challenges of this job
你知道这个工作的挑战之一啊，
is maintaining a balanced life with a family.
就是要能够在家庭当中有所平衡。
My wife is based in Orlando,
我太太住在奥兰多，
and each time I come here, I usually spend a month on my Asia tour.
那每一次我来到亚洲，我大概就要花1个月的时间。
So you can imagine how she feels right now.
所以你绝对可以想象得到她在家现在有什么感觉。
Last week I was home for 4 days,
上个月我在家大概有4天的时间，
and then I flew out here to Taiwan.
然后我又飞来台湾了。
But when I was there, she looks at my face
那当我在家的时候，她看着我的脸啊，
and said, I know you've been spending a lot of time in Asia.
我知道你花很多时间在亚洲，哎，
Did you get something done to your face?
你是不是顺便去做脸了？
I said, what do you mean?
我说什么意思？
She says, did you get Botox done?
你是不是去打肉毒杆菌呢？
I said, no, I didn't get that done. I said, I've been using Luminess.
我说我没有，我是在用这些精华，
And that's
我
what
的复
made
活
the
精华
difference.，
那这是最大的差异。
And now she's starting to use the product.
啊，他自己现在也开始用我们的产品了，
So that's how powerful this product is.
这就是为什么这个产品这么有强而有力、有效
I'm
的
not
原
going to
因。
spend too much time on the product because I know you know about the product.
我不会花太多时间在产品上，因为你们搞不好都比我更了解。
Let's talk about the plan.
我们聊一下我们的计划好了。
The plan is so simple.
我们的计划好简单，
It's duplicable.
它可以被复制。
You know, when I sit in an audience and I listen to compensation plans, as I've done for the last 30 years,
在过去30年看了不同的这种奖励计划的时候，
if it's too confusing, I don't want to do that.
如果看起来太复杂，我就不想去参与。
When I heard the Janess plan,
但当我听完杰斯的奖励计划
you
之
know
后
what I，said? I can do that.
那我看完我只有一个想法，就是我能做得到。
And it drives the behavior that we want to drive teams.
那我们就让我们的行为能够开始推动我们的团队。
And there's nothing else out there that allows you 6 streams of income.
而在外头没有一个生意可以让你同时有6种的收入来源。
So that's the plan. But then that's even more exciting, the platform.
那更令人兴奋的是我们的平
You
台
can，be sitting here in Kaohsiung
你可以坐在高雄这边，
and recruiting people anywhere, everywhere, all over this world
然后你可以在全世界任何地方都可以去做招募，
and make money. Isn't that exciting?
然后还能赚到钱，有没有让人很兴奋啊？
This is truly a global platform.
这是一个全球的平台，
But this is my favorite. This is the heart of the business. The
这
people.
才是我最喜欢的，就是我们的文化，我们的人
That's，all of you in this room
这就是
and
我
our
们
270,000 distributors worldwide.
我们全球的27.5万名经销商，包含在场各位。
So I want to spend the next 40 minutes focusing on you.
所以接下来的40分钟，我想要讲的焦点就是你们，
And this is about mindset.
而就是关于心智。
I normally spend 3 days doing this, but I've compressed it down into 40 minutes.
我通常这个话题我要讲3天，但我帮大家压缩成40分钟就好了。
Because things in Items don't grow companies, people grow companies.
我知道不是公司把人打快，而是人把公司击溃。
So it starts with you and me. You know, I believe companies are a loose collection of people.
所以我相信是从你我开始啊，是我们每一个人集结而成的。
But the difference why some companies are successful and others are not is because of achievers. They are the key.
为什么有些公司成功，有些公司不成功呢？就在于这些领袖们，他们是关键。
So in my 30 years as I've been traveling around, you know, I've been asking people, what drives achievement?
所以我在四处各式各样的地方，在不断问人们是怎么样才能够驱动出成就感。
Why are some people successful and others not?
为什么有人会成功，有人却不成功呢？
Is it luck?
是运气吗？
Is it brains or skill?
是品牌，是他们的技能吗？
So I dug into this deeper, and I was convinced of the following answers.
所以呢，我挖掘更深之后，我发掘了这些答案。
First of all, when you develop leaders in Jeunesse,
当你在发展出杰斯的领袖们的时候，
I don't care if you don't have the skills.
我不管你有没有技能，
If you have a positive attitude, that's what I care about.
如果你有一个正面的态度，这就是我真正在乎
We
的。
can teach anyone anything,
我们能够教任何人任何事情，
and that's what's important about attitude.
而这是为什么态度如此重要。
Second, commitment and persistence.
第二个是承诺，还有坚持不懈的精神
You。know, many people in life, and I know people, and I bet you know people, say, yeah, I commit to this, I commit to becoming diamond, but 6 months later, they give up.
我相信你我都认识一些人，他说啊，这生意很好，我决定要成为这个酸钻石，但是6个月就放弃了。
If we really want something in life, we have to be committed to it.
如果我们人生要有所得取的话，你必须要下承诺，不断往前走。
Next is personal passion.
第三个是个人的热情，
Passionate about what you do. Show your heart. That will move people.
对你所做的展现出热情来感动别人。
Fourth, show compassion towards others.
第四个是要表达出你的慈悲心，
Treat others how you expect to be treated by them.
你对待别人的方式就像是你希望别人怎么对待你。
And one of the things also in this business that I've noticed in many individuals, and that's why I love this business,
那我在这生意为什么如此热爱它？是因为有很多独特的个人啊，
is it helps believe our belief system and self-confidence.
因为它能够帮助我们的信念，还让我们更有自信。
How many of you have lost belief any time in your life?
在场有多少人曾经失去过自己信念的？举手看看。
No one?
没人吗？
Well, I have.
我有过。
I've lost confidence, I've lost belief when things aren't going right for me.
有时候事情不顺的时候，我会失去信心，我会失去信念。
But this kind of business, when we've got leaders from around the world, helps they work with us and help build our confidence, help build our self-esteem.
但像这样的公司，我们就有不同的领袖，他会帮助我们，协助我们建立我们的自信，改变我们的信念。
You know, this is an old friend of mine. I wasn't alive when he died,
这是我一个很好的朋友啊，那他死的时候呢，其实我还没出生
but，he was the founder of my country.
但是他是我国家的国父啊。
And I have to repeat his words because they're so appropriate. He was one who believed in nonviolence.
他是相信非暴力原则的人，那是非常重要，说要读出来给大家听
And。this is what he said. Your beliefs become your thoughts.
你的信念成就你的想法，
Your thoughts become your words.
你的思想成为你的语言，
Your words become your actions.
你的语言成为你的行动，
Your actions become your habits.
你的行动成为你的习惯，
Your habits become your
你
values.
的习惯成为你的价值观，
And your values become your destiny.
而你的价值观成就你的命运。
And this is what he did, founded one of the largest democracies in the world.
而这就是他所做的，他创办了全球最大的一个民主国家。
Remember I said it starts with achievement, it starts with you and me.
你知道我一开始说，他是从你我开始，从
One of
成
the
就开始，
most important ingredients is belief.
而最重要的一环就是信念，
Believing in yourself
相信自己，
and believing in others around you.
那相信你身边的人。
Belief equals faith with passion.
信念就等于是充满热情的信心。
I'm convinced you can do anything if you have belief.
我相信，如果你有信念，你什么都做得到。
Now I put the slide up to confuse you.
我把这个投影片拿出来，是让你们困惑。
How many of you believe each of us are two people?
有多少人相信我们是两种人？
How many of you believe that?
有多少人相信这一点呢？
A few hands?
有一些人举手，
Can we get some lights up in the
来
house?
帮我
please?
把灯打亮一点，我看看大家好不好？
A few hands here.
有一些人有举手，
A few hands. Not everyone believes that.
不是每个人都相信。
Well, I have news for you.
那我
We
告
are
诉你
two
们
people.
我们是两个人，
One is the person we are today,
一个是我们今天是什么人，
and one is the person we are going to become tomorrow.
一个是我们明天即将成为的人。
But you know what separates that person we are today and what we're going to become tomorrow?
你也知道怎么样这两种人差异吗？
It's potential.
就是他的潜能。
We have potential. Every one of us has the same level of potential.
我们每一个人都有相同程度的潜力。
But then why are some people more successful than others?
那为什么有些人比别人更为成功呢？
Because some use their potential more than others.
因为有些人用他们的潜力比别人更多一些。
Our potential is inside of us, waiting to come out.
我们内在的潜力等着要激发出来。
Do you know there's studies been done that most people use only 10% of their potential?
那有些研究指出来，有些人只发挥了10%的潜能。
I'm not asking for 100%.
我不是要求大家发挥100%。
But imagine if 10% went to 15%.
但想想看，10%到15%的话，
What more you could achieve?
你能够多成就些什么？
So the potential is there, but at the end of the day, we all need to take responsibility.
所以潜能都是拥有，但是我们最后都要负起责任。
And I love this word, responsibility.
我很喜欢责任英文这个字眼，
You know, when you take this word responsibility in English
因为你把责任这个英文字啊，
and you bifurcate it,
然后你把它切一半，
it's two words, responsibility.
它其实反应跟能力这两个字，
And what that means is the ability to respond to things that you can control.
就是对于你这些能反应的事情所做出来的能力，这就是责任。
So have passion, have belief, take responsibility, unleash your potential.
所以有热情、有信心，然后能够负起责任，然后释放你的潜能。
How many of you know what a victim is?
有多少人知道受害者是什么呢？举手看看。
You know, I was at a meeting once and I had a victim come up and do a keynote speech.
你知道我有一次参加一个课程会议啊，
You know what the victim did?
然后有一个受害者上来
They
讲课，
came out from stage like this. Now please welcome Kanwar Bhutani.
然后你知道这个人说：“欢迎康瓦普塔
And
尼。
this was the victim. Comes out.
受害者。
Hello, my name is Kanwar. I'm a loser.
哎，大家好，我是康瓦，我是个失败者，
It's not my fault. It's everyone else's fault in the audience.
不是我的错，都是在场的其他人的错。
They did it to me. I'm a good person.
我是个好人，都是他们这样对我的关系。
That's what I call a victim. You think people like that grow?
那就是受害者。你觉得这样的人会成长吗？
And imagine hearing that speech for hours. It's boring.
你听看这个人讲话讲1个小时会很无聊啊。
So victims have what I call a fixed mindset.
所以
They
呢，
don't
这
want
些
to
受
think
害
about
者，
growing.
他们有一个限制性的思维啊。
That's the way I am.
那这就是我就是这样。
Now, with the Taiwan business and the Jeunesse business, you're not victims. You're all warriors.
在台湾和杰斯这个生意里面，你们都不是受害者，你们都是战士。
But one thing I want you to be is not just a warrior.
我希望你们不只成为战士，
I want you to be a warrior with heart.
我希望你们成为一个有心的战士。
That's what's going to unleash your potential on the people around you.
这样才能释放你的潜能，然后协助你身边的人。
And the growth mindset is all about how can I be better? Asking ourselves the question, what can I do to better myself?
而成长的思维就是不断问自己，我要怎么样让自己变得更好？怎么样可以让自己成长更多？
So developing leaders in Jeunesse, we talked a lot about different things, but there's also some key elements when you develop leaders.
那在杰斯要发展出领袖呢，有一些很关键的东西，我们之前有讨论过了，然后还有其他这些特点。
First, sources of power.
首先，你要知道你力量的来源，
How do you each create direct selling energy?
然后你再来你要有一个很好的销售的力量，
How do you create a sense of urgency?
你要怎么样创造出一个迫切感？
And how do you set the tone?
那你要怎么定调？
You know, in the words of John Maxwell, who's a famous leadership guru,
那这个用一个非常出名的领导力大师约翰麦斯韦尔的话来说，
you know, he said the true test of leadership
这个领导力真正的测试，
is when you're leading
是当你在带领的时候，
and you look behind
然后你往后一看，
and no one's following you,
却没有人跟着你，
you're not a true leader.
那你并不是真正的领袖。
You need people to follow you as a leader.
身为领袖，你要有人跟随着你。
So when you look at sources of power,
所以当你在看你力
let
量
me
来
talk
源，
about the two that exist.
我会讲到2个很
There's
重要的力
external
量，
and internal.
有内在的力量跟外在的力量。
Now, what do you see in that picture?
在这张照片上，大家看到什么？
What do you see?
你看到什么？
Okay, I'm going to come down here.
好，我下来直接问人好了。
What do you see?
你看到什么？
You see an airplane,
大家看到飞机是吗？
right?
So
Now,
is
what
it-
do you see with the airplane?
大家看到飞机怎么样？
What do you see?
大家看到飞机怎么了？
It's a big airplane.
很大的一台飞机耶，
It's plugged in.
它已经被它跟空桥相连。
You see it plugged in?
有看到跟空桥相连吗？
And there's a person there, correct?
没错，还有一个人在那里。
Now, do you think that plane can take off with it being plugged in?
那你们觉得空桥相连的话，这台飞机能起飞吗
No. So that's what I call external power.
这就是我称之为外在的力量。
When you're in an airplane at a gate and you've got the plane plugged in, that's external power.
当你以为飞机然后你的空桥相连的时候，这就是外在的力
So
量。
when you look at external power, each of you around us is what I call external power.
你们每一个人都是我称之为外在的力量。
When we as leaders grow, we need each other.
当我们身为领导人，彼此在成长，我们需要彼此。
But then you have to start with yourself.
但是你必须要先从
And
自
that's
己
what
开
I
始。
call internal power.
那这就是我称之为内在的力量。
So let's look at internal power for a second.
所以我们现在看一下内在力量，
This is internal power.
这就是内在力量。
Plane's taken off. It's not plugged in. It's on its own engines.
飞机现在起飞，它是靠自己的引擎在启动。
When you join Jeunesse, you get the help of others. That's external power.
当你加入杰斯，你需要别人的
When
协
you
助，
run
这是
a
外在。
business, you take off. That's internal power.
当你学会了之后，你就起飞了，这就是内在
Let
力
me
量。
give you an example that drives home this point of internal power.
那给大家一个例子好了，
How many of you have seen the movie Star Wars?
在场有多少人看过《星际战争》这部电影的？
A few of you?
星际大战。
Well, let's play the video.
那我们看一下这个电影这部片段。
We'll never get it out now.
So certain are you? Always with you what cannot be done. You do nothing that I say.
Master, moving stones around is one thing. This is totally different.
No different. Only different in your mind. You must unlearn what you have learned.
All right, I'll give it a try.
No, try not. Do or do not. There is no try.
Yoda says, do or do not. There is no try.
尤达大师说啊，做或不做，没有试看看。
People say to me, when I travel, they say to me, I will try to be a diamond by the end of the year.
所以我四处旅行，很多人说都跟我说，我会试看看年底成为
And
钻
you know what I
石。
tell them?
你知道我说什么吗？
You're not going to be a diamond at the end of the year.
我说年底才不会成为钻石。
And they said, but I'll try.
那人们就说，我会试看看呢。
I said, you don't really mean it.
你说你不是真的，你没有真的
If you
想要。
really mean it, you're going to do it, not try.
因为如果你真的想做的话，你就直接去做，而不是想试看看。
Let's talk a little